Today is Wednesday, March 12th, 2025. Bitcoin block height 887467. Transaction fees 2 sats per VByte. Low, medium, and high priority. Just under 10,000 unconfirmed transactions in the mempool. Bitcoin USD price $83,014. 24-hour high was 83,767. 24-hour low was not 79,000 even. Bitcoin Spaces protocol. Total Bitcoin burned 1.38. 1,018 transfers and registers and 1,120 rollouts. Spaces in auction. AF Casino CX, Get, JK, and PVP. Claimable in about 11 hours and 40 minutes. Recent events, we have a transfer of Chan and a bunch of bids. JR, SS, and Digital. Upcoming rollouts in about 1 hour. About 6 blocks from now. Block 887473. We got some Puni codes. AND, his, have, he, from, book, lock, be, this. Yesterday's rollouts were, dang, look at all these transfers. We had a lot of let's get to the rollouts real quick. Yesterday rollouts were Puni codes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right, we had 10 Puni codes roll out. And look at all these transfers. Dang, I wonder how many people are doing this. Is it just one person getting all these? Dang, somebody getting a lot of Bitcoin Spaces here, just transferring all these away. Going. And an update happened with the Spaces marketplace, which is really cool. The Puni codes, the emojis, now show. You can see they have the little emoji here. So right here, we got the explosion. We got the little devil. We got the world. We got the cursing mouth. The cat with a black square. The fox. The scorpion. The penguin. This is just a box. Is it going to be popular? I don't know. This little X thing. I know there's somebody out there doing it. I think it's Techno Hippies. He's doing all the Puni codes. And he's just scooping them all up. I mean, just scooping them. Straight scooping them up. And, you know, that's what it is. That's a free market. Like, you know, I try to make these videos, let people know. And it's early right now. You know, it's super early. Spaces just came out. November 20th, 2024. People are just trying to figure it out. I'm trying to tell everybody about it. You know, look into it. It looks pretty good. Most people don't seem to care. One thing, there is a barrier to entry, though. You have to run your own Bitcoin full node, which, hey, you should anyway, right? You should be doing that anyway. You're trusting somebody else to verify that you have Bitcoin. Took me a while, so hey, you know, it took me years. It took me like 7 years, so can't really, you know, it is what it is. It takes some time. Some people get sooner than others. It took me forever to do it, but luckily I was prompted to do it when I saw this. I was like, DNS on Bitcoin? Yeah, that's going to make a lot of sense, dude. Somebody's going to do it. And I was looking into DNS on Bitcoin, some sort of naming system for years now. It's probably been like 2 years. And just a bunch of scams, bunch of nonsense, reading through the papers, just seeing things that didn't seem like they would work, you know. The rollout was a big issue where the names rolled out instantly. Like they were just all up for grabs instantly. That didn't make a lot of sense because then people would just get thousands of names real quick, inscribe, etch, or whatever they would do. And then all, 200,000 names were registered. Yeah, great. That is a milestone. You got a lot of names out there, but it's just a handful of people. Just a handful of people owning all the names. So then it just dies because, there's really not an even distribution. it would be like if Bitcoin just dumped all the Bitcoin out and there wasn't a block every 10 minutes or so, you know? So people wouldn't want to do it if it was like that. So Spaces protocol changes that with or attempts to solve that with just 10 names roll out a day. So right now we have 1,120 names rolled out right now. So 10 names roll out every day, maximum, and it's determined by the highest bid. So right now in about 1 hour, we're going to see these 10 names roll out. But if someone comes in here and bids another name up, you can see there's 40 names pending back here. Someone comes in and bids up another one of these names, it will actually be at the top. You see, there's 5,000 Satoshis, 1,000 Satoshis for these other names. Then once it rolls out, the 10 roll out, they'll be in auction period. So they're in an auction period for 10 more days. So it gives everybody a chance to look at them to see, okay, see this auction right here just rolled out yesterday. Auction ends in 9 days. It's actually block time. So it's blocks are crazy. You know, I recently, now that I got into Bitcoin Spaces, I started paying attention to blocks and block time. Dude, it freaking varies wildly. I'm talking about hours, dude. Sometimes you would think, be like, all right, I'm going to bid on a space at like 9 p.m. tonight. Tomorrow around 9 p.m. That'll, I'll be able to claim it or do whatever. No, heck no. Not sometimes. Sometimes it does. But other times, dude, it could, man, these rollouts, it could be like 4 a.m. my time. It could be 12 p.m. It could be 7 a.m. I mean, it is crazy. I guess over the long term, a block is found every 10 minutes. But, dude, it is wild. I be sitting around sometimes waiting for a block, dude. It's over an hour. Crazy. And then other times I'll be like, oh, I got time. I got time to bid. And then 3 blocks come. Wham, wham, wham. Back to back to back, dude. Like in a minute. All 3 blocks in a minute. And then you'll wait an hour and a half for the next block. It's crazy. Craziness. But I guess it evens out. So then you got to wait 10 days here until it can be claimed. And if no one bids on it, then the person who rolled it out, who had the leading bid, they can claim it. But if someone bids on it, it pushes it out another 24 hours. And then if someone else bids on it, it pushes it out another 24 hours. So you can't snipe. Can't snipe any of these names. You can't wait till the last second or the last block and just throw a bid in and expect to get the name. As soon as someone bids on it, pushes it out another 24 hours. So that's nice. So they Spaces Protocol seem to have solved the rollout issue where people are just squatting on names. I like that part of it. And only 10 names roll out per day. So it's like 3,600 a year, which is super low for the whole world. You know, these are websites, these are wallet address names, human readable wallet addresses, these are digital identities, you know, usernames, gamer tags, just your online identity. You don't think it's important now because it really hasn't been jammed down your throat, but governments and places of authority, they're going to want online IDs, right? We already been talking about it. How to know that that's you, right? How to know that that's you. They're going to want some KYC nonsense that you give all your information into a centralized party so that they can get hacked, their database, and everyone's information is out. And then what are they going to do now that they gave out all your information? They got hacked. Nothing. They're going to offer you some sort of, it already happened to me. And this is what happens. They're going to offer you some sort of privacy protection or some sort of like life lock where they'll monitor your credit, right? They'll give you a free 3 months, a free year of it, right? And what you got to do there is you got to give another company all your personal information so that they can get hacked and give up all your information. And then when they get hacked, they'll offer you a free year of some other monitoring with another company, which you have to give all your data. So that's not the answer. That's dumb, right? You need to be able to hold your own keys, sign your own transactions, prove your own identity on your own, right? I don't need to know your birth date, your social security, your address, your name, your phone number, all this nonsense. I don't need to know all that information. Just sign your keys, right? You see what like Craig Wright came out and he was like, oh, I'm Satoshi, here's all this proof, right? All this bogus nonsense proof. Like, dude, we don't care about that. Just sign a transaction from one of Satoshi's wallets. Just do that. And then there would be no doubt. Everyone would know, you know? So this is the future. This is the present. This is the now. Okay, this is what we do. You sign a Bitcoin transaction, you prove it's you, and that's it. You're the owner, right? You just signed it. So this looks super cool. You know, it's gaining some traction here. 1.38 total Bitcoin burned. Also, the names have to be used. If they're not used within a year, they go back up for auction. I'm not sure if they go back in auction or if they just become available again. I think they just become available again. So use it or lose it type of thing. That's another thing. You can't just squat on these names in the Spaces protocol. Like these other domain name systems and Ethereum name systems. And I mean, there was a couple Bitcoin ones, the Ordinals ones, the Bitcoin domains. That was centralized nonsense. You had to pay a fee to somebody at the top, right? For their services, right? No, not paying nobody for my services, dude. I buy Bitcoin, I earn Bitcoin, I acquire Bitcoin, I keep it, right? So with this, yeah, you got to use it. I mean, that's not my favorite part about it because then you got to use Satoshis to keep it. But I think if you receive into the address, it still renews it. I'm not 100% sure. That would be nice. What else can you do? They're top level domains. So off of the chain, everything I discussed was on Bitcoin blockchain base layer, but off of the chain, you can do subspaces, which it's scaling, right? You don't want to clog up the Bitcoin blockchain with a bunch of this nonsense. So you could have at AF, like a .com, it would be at AF. And then you could have all the names in front of it. And that scales off chain, you know, that's interesting to me too. Not as interesting as the on chain sovereign type stuff where I can hold it on Bitcoin blockchain, but it's still cool. You know, I guess it'd be like Lightning, where it's not exactly Bitcoin, but it's good enough for what you're trying to do, which these are also compatible with Lightning addresses, Lightning Network. So a lot of stuff happening, dude. Spaces protocol, I've been talking about it. What else is cool? I mean, there's cool stuff about it, dude. I got tabs open here that I just try to read about this stuff. What makes Spaces so daggone special? Spaces are anchored in Bitcoin, the most secure proof of work blockchain, and have the following properties. Primary spaces are community identifiers capped at 3,600 per year, acquired through permissionless auctions on the Bitcoin blockchain. Each primary space is a community that may issue sovereign handles off-chain, known as subspaces. Spaces and subspaces, once allocated, are permissionless and as secure as Bitcoin itself. No bridging, slashing, or any kind of optimistic security. The Spaces protocol is designed with ZK Lite clients in mind, making these identities verifiable on resource-constrained devices, so zero-knowledge proofs. Subspaces do not need to trust the community operator once allocated, and they can do 100% of their transactions on-chain if they wish. Minimal on-chain footprint. Spaces versus ENS. For full verification, you can sync the entire Spaces protocol with a pruned Bitcoin full node on an old Raspberry Pi. Yeah, so actually that's cool, man. I didn't know. I was actually asking that question. Like, you know, because there's all these fix the filters people, all these people, Bitcoin, yeah. And I'm with them, right? Like, let's keep Bitcoin for money. Let's keep Bitcoin legit. Because if we break that shit, we all fail. So I'm down with that. But I also think it's useful for messaging communication, right? If it wasn't, then Satoshi wouldn't have sent a message in the Genesis block. Chancellor on brink a second bailout from banks, right? He wouldn't have sent that important message if Bitcoin wasn't good for immutable messaging. So what's better than money? Nothing, right? Nothing. Money's number one. That's the best thing. But what's next, right? Is there anything else important? Yeah. Naming, identity. We're online all the time. Digital identities are becoming more and more important. It might not seem obvious now, but it soon will be. And it's just more It's just important. Naming is important. So where should we have naming, right? It should be on Bitcoin. And it shouldn't mess Bitcoin up. It should have a light footprint. And it shouldn't rely on a central authority, right? It should have all the ideals of Bitcoin where no man in the middle, no trusted third party. You are your own bank. You are your own signer, your own verify. It's hard though in today's world because a lot of people don't give a shit, man. People don't. People want the easy way. They don't want to run a node. And like I said, it took me 7 years, so whatever. But it doesn't. We don't need 100% of people. You know, there's some saying out there. It's like 3% of the people fight for what they want, like evil shit, but it's good in their perspective. Whatever. 3% of the people fight for what they want. It's good shit, but maybe other people think it's bad. Whatever. You know, it's all about perspective. But I think you got the 7% of people in the middle that just follow, right? Everyone follows. I was just watching a video actually this morning, a YouTube video, and it was a experiment, like a social experiment. And there was people in the elevator, and the one dude just put on a helmet, and then there was a line of helmets on the ground, and it was two guys in there. One guy had the helmet on, the other guy didn't, and I guess everybody was in on it that came in. Another guy came in, he put a helmet on. He picked the helmet up from the floor, put it on. A girl came in, she picked the helmet up, put it on. And the dude who wasn't in on it, he finally picked up a helmet and put it on because that's what we do. We follow. We're not sure what's going on, but we're going to follow. We're going to follow. It's the same thing that I always said, and this is so true. You know, I mean, this is just my own thought. I don't know if anyone else ever said this, but I always say this. This is like my idea as far as how I can explain it. If I was walking into a store like a supermarket or something, a Walmart or a big Costco or whatever, and everyone was a person ran past me, like one person ran the other way out of the store, I wouldn't think much of it. But then if like 2 more people ran out, I'd be like, what's going on? What's going on? And then let's say 5 people ran out, right? And then more people ran out. Eventually, I would not go into the store. I would turn around and walk away. I wouldn't want to go in the store. And then eventually, if even more people ran, I would start to run myself. I would fucking get up and run. I would book it. I wouldn't know what in the hell was going on, but I would know to not go that way. You know, I would run away. So it's the same thing. I don't know. I guess we're social creatures, humans. We're followers and stuff. So majority of people are going to follow, and that's fine. But we definitely need naming identities on Bitcoin. And well, I mean, we just need them in general online. We need them online. And where else could we put them but Bitcoin, right? Bitcoin's the best place to have them. Where else are you going to have them, right? We got DNS, which is centralized. We got HTTPS, which is centralized. We got ICANN. You know, you buy a website, a .com, you're buying it from them. It's centralized. They can shut your shit down. It's just that hasn't happened yet. Nostr's great. I love Nostr. And all these names are also compatible with Nostr too. Nostr's great. But the most popular Nostr is primal.net. That's what I use. And primal.net is bought. The .com, .net is bought from ICANN. It's centralized. That shit can get shut down in a second, man. That could be shut down in a second. So sites like that, Nostr sites, personal sites, Bitcoin wallet addresses, once they start becoming these cool human readable names. I mean, the fact that they're showing emojis, that's pretty damn cool. You can send Bitcoin to an emoji. That's pretty cool. And then just look, BTC1, you know, any AF, right? All these cool names. So I think it's going to happen. I don't necessarily know that it's going to be Spaces Protocol. I hope it is. You know, it's the best one I've seen. But something's going to happen. We're definitely going to have DNS on Bitcoin, naming on Bitcoin, naming resolution on Bitcoin. And it's just the way it is. It just makes sense. We're not going to keep copy and pasting these BC1Q long Bitcoin addresses and double checking if I got the right address. No, I'm going to say, yo, send it to freaking CX, bro. CX. Yeah, that's me. Send it to CX, right? That's how it's going to go. All right, that's it for this one. Thank y'all for watching.